Realistic tactical shooters stand in a completely different place compared to classic shooters. In this genre, it's not just about shooting, but how you move and position yourself in the field. In this video, we've put together some of the most realistic tactical shooters you can play solo. If you're ready, let's get started.
Drop the gun!
Ready or Not approaches the tactical shooter genre with serious discipline. When playing solo, you are not alone. The commands you give to your AI team directly determine the course of the operation. In each mission, progressing requires patience, checking corners as you move, and waiting for the right moment. Advancing randomly often results in failure. The scenarios offered by the game take place in confined spaces, which turns every room into a separate risk. Your choice of equipment and approach style can completely change the situation you will encounter. It stands out as a game for those who enjoy more controlled and planned progression.
Whoa, whoa!
Another one in the door, another one in the door! Wait.
Shit!
Escape from Tarkov progresses on a much harsher line compared to other games with its unforgiving nature. Every raid you enter solo begins with risk and can often end with a single mistake. As you move through the map, you need to rely not only on what you see, but also on what you hear. Gunshots, footsteps, and even the slightest movement can reveal your position. Since the equipment you carry fully belongs to you, losing it feels like a real cost. This makes every encounter more cautious and calculated. Finding extraction points on the map and leaving at the right time is just as important as combat. Instead of playing fast, you need to proceed patiently, because mistakes made here are not forgiven.
Suga!
Ground Branch emphasizes doing things right rather than fast with its realism-focused design. While progressing solo, every move has consequences. Rushing often results in mistakes. As you move through the maps, you need to control your field of view, carefully track sounds, and accurately assess your position. The weapon customization system is quite detailed, and the equipment you use directly affects your approach in the field. This also allows you to play the same mission in different ways. The game's pace is intentionally kept slow, making every encounter more tense and demanding. It stands as a strong option for those seeking a more tactical and realistic experience. Arma 3 has long been regarded as a benchmark in this field thanks to the level of detail it offers. While progressing through vast maps in solo missions, it's not just about aiming. You also need to position yourself, calculate distance, and choose the right equipment. The pace of the game is quite slow, which makes it necessary for every move to be planned. Since it has a more open structure, it's possible to create your own scenarios or progress through pre-made missions. Arma Reforger, on the other hand, takes the same approach with a more modern presentation. With updated graphics and simplified systems, it makes tactical progression in solo missions more accessible. By streamlining some of the complexity, it allows you to focus directly on the field. This provides a smoother experience, especially for those who prefer playing alone. Six Days in Fallujah offers a heavier and more tense atmosphere with its structure inspired by real events. It can be played solo, but moving together with an AI team still plays an important role as you progress. The changing structure of missions each time causes even the same operation to unfold differently. Combat in confined spaces often punishes impatient movement. For this reason, it's not just about aiming, but also about properly controlling your surroundings and advancing carefully. The game's pace is intentionally kept slow, making every encounter more stressful. It stands as a strong option for those seeking a more tactical and realistic approach. Insurgency Sandstorm presents combat moments in a way that is as simple as possible, yet harsh. It is possible to progress solo, and during this process, each encounter can be resolved very quickly. While moving through the map, being exposed or making a wrong move is usually punished instantly. The weapon handling and recoil system make random firing difficult and require more careful play. Sound also plays an important role. A gunshot you try to locate can instantly change your situation. The structure of the maps forces you to proceed cautiously at all times, keeping the player constantly alert. Short but intense encounters define the overall pace of the game. Gray Zone Warfare emphasizes more controlled and careful progression across large maps. When playing solo, every step needs to be considered. Moving in open areas carries much more risk compared to confined spaces. As visibility increases, it becomes harder to predict where danger will come from, forcing the player to stay cautious at all times. The weapon handling and ballistic system make combat more calculated and make random movement difficult. The structure of the map directly affects reconnaissance and positioning. It offers a tactical experience that takes place in larger areas and requires patience and attention.
Moving in now. Keep your eyes on the windows.
0 Hour focuses on close quarters combat and builds its sense of realism around these environments. As you progress through missions, every door and every room becomes a separate risk, requiring constant caution while moving. Since the maps are designed close to real-life scale, distance perception and positioning carry great importance. Encounters are usually short, and in most cases, a single mistake can bring the entire process to an end. Weapon handling and equipment choices directly affect how missions unfold. This structure, which requires planned movement, presents a significant shift in pace for those accustomed to playing fast. Stalker 2 may not directly deliver the feeling of a military operation, but it approaches tactical gameplay from a different angle. Moving carelessly in the game can lead to serious consequences. Analyzing the environment, choosing the right type of ammunition, and anticipating encounters in advance are necessary. Weapon handling supports this seriousness as well. Recoil, bullet drop, and the possibility of equipment malfunction make combat more demanding and cautious. In addition, elements such as hunger, radiation, and sleep directly affect not only survival, but also the decisions you make. This shifts the game toward a structure based more on proper judgment than reflexes. Road to Vostok features a harsher gameplay style where uncontrolled movement leads to serious consequences. While progressing through open areas, it's not always possible to predict what you will encounter, which requires more careful movement. The equipment you carry, the weapon you use, and the resources you have directly affect how encounters unfold. Therefore, instead of moving randomly, You need to assess your current situation and wait for the right moment. Weapon handling and ammunition management also become an important part of this process. The game's pace is not fast. As you progress, it requires more cautious movement and the ability to anticipate risks in advance. This structure offers a different experience for those seeking a more careful and controlled style of play.